Have you ever wondered why we often feel a strange sense of comfort in our own sadness, or why we sometimes push away the people we care about the most? Human behavior is rarely logical. We like to think of ourselves as rational beings making conscious decisions, but beneath the surface of our daily lives, there is a silent machinery of subconscious habits and psychological paradoxes at play. These glitches in our mind aren't actually mistakes. They are deeply rooted evolutionary responses and emotional defense mechanisms that have been with us for millennia. To understand these strange psychological truths is to begin to understand the hidden architecture of the soul. It is to realize that we are not broken or weird, we are simply beautifully complexly human. One of the most profound, yet unsettling, truths is something called the comfort of familiar pain. Psychologically, the human brain prefers a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. This is why we sometimes find ourselves repeating the same toxic patterns, dating the same type of person who hurts us, or staying in a job that drains our spirit. Our subconscious mind prioritizes predictability over happiness. If we grew up in chaos, peace can actually feel threatening because we don't know how to navigate it. Understanding this allows us to look at our self-sabotage with more compassion. We aren't choosing pain, we are choosing what we know. Healing, then, isn't just about finding happiness, it's about training our minds to feel safe in the unknown. Another strange reality is the paradox of choice. We often believe that more options will make us freer and happier, but in reality, an abundance of choices leads to decision paralysis and a higher likelihood of regret. When we have 20 paths to choose from, we spend so much energy worrying about the 19 paths we didn't take that we can't enjoy the one we are on. This is why modern life often feels so exhausting despite having more opportunities than ever before. Finding wisdom in satisficing means knowing when something is good enough and letting go of that pesky idea of perfection. Have you ever noticed that you're most critical of the traits in others that you secretly dislike in yourself? This is known as psychological projection. Our minds are incredibly talented at taking our own insecurities, failures, and hidden traumas and pinning them onto someone else like a badge. It is a defense mechanism that protects our ego from the discomfort of self-reflection. When we feel a sudden, intense burst of irritation toward a stranger's behavior, it is often a mirror held up to our own subconscious. If we can learn to pause and ask, what is this irritation trying to tell me about myself? We turn judgment into a powerful tool for self-discovery. There is also the strange phenomenon of emotional contagion. Our brains are wired with mirror neurons that make us literal sponges for the emotions of those around us. If you spend your day with someone who is constantly anxious, your nervous system will eventually begin to mimic that tension, even if you have no reason to be stressed. We don't just see other people's feelings, we vibrate with them. This is why protecting your energy isn't just a trendy phrase, it is a psychological necessity. Your environment isn't just around you, it is inside you. Perhaps one of the most relatable, strange truths is why we feel a sense of emptiness after achieving a long-term goal. This is the arrival fallacy. We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or I'll be at peace when I find a partner. The brain's dopamine system is designed for the pursuit, not the attainment. Once we reach the destination, the chemical high fades, leaving us with the "what now?" feeling. The wisdom of self-wisdom is learning to shift the focus from the destination to the presence. It's realizing that the arrival is a myth and the only reality is the step you are taking right now. Consider also the spotlight effect, the psychological bias that causes us to overestimate how much others are noticing our flaws or mistakes. We walk through the world feeling like everyone is watching the stain on our shirt or remembering the awkward thing we said 3 years ago. In reality, everyone else is trapped in their own spotlight effect, worrying about their own stains and their own awkward words. Understanding this is incredibly liberating. It means that most of the judgment you fear doesn't actually exist outside of your own mind. You are far more invisible and therefore far more free than you think. We must also look at intrusive thoughts, those sudden, dark, or strange flashes of ideas that seem to come from nowhere. Many people live with deep shame because they've had a thought that felt wrong or evil, but the psychological truth is that everyone has them. They are just the brain's way of testing what-if scenarios or processing random data. Having a dark thought doesn't make you a dark person. The thought is just a cloud passing through the sky. You are the sky, not the cloud. The strangest truth of all might be that our brains aren't actually designed to keep us happy. They are designed to keep us alive. Survival and happiness are often at odds. Survival wants us to be hypervigilant, to remember every mistake, and to fear the unknown. Happiness requires us to let go, to trust, and to be present. Recognizing this conflict is the first step toward genuine self-understanding. It allows us to stop fighting our nature and start gently guiding it. As we navigate these strange psychological patterns, we realize that the human mind is not a machine to be fixed, but a landscape to be explored. Each weird habit and subconscious pull is a map leading us back to ourselves. By understanding these invisible forces, we move from being victims of our patterns to being the conscious observers of our lives. We learn to move with more grace, to judge ourselves with more kindness, and to live with a little more wisdom in this strange, beautiful experience called being alive. Ultimately, the most important psychological truth is this: you don't have to understand everything about yourself to be worthy of peace. You are allowed to be a mystery. You are allowed to have parts of yourself that don't make sense yet. In the world of self-wisdom, we don't look for fixes, we look for clarity. And sometimes, the most clear thing we can see is that we are all, in our own strange ways, doing the best we can with the minds we were given.